No, no, because Jimmy didn't tell that one story, but I'm going to get you now. Jimmy, you are.
I never did do anything.
I know you were a precious, sweet baby, just like Doris. You were just sweet and innocent.
Doris about when she and Florine got out there and busted Uncle Jim's records.
You are so funny.
Oh, was it?
You keep saying, have somebody else tell the story where they did something, and you're not telling anything on yourself.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Well, Jimmy, what do you remember?
Everything I got to tell was good. So.
But that's good. That's good. You can tell a good story about yourself.
I don't like bragging. He was pretty nice.
No, that's not bragging.
Jimmy used to work for our nation. Jimmy told. Jimmy told when he was little. He used to work for our nation.
I want to tell something on Jimmy.
Okay, you tell something on Jimmy.
Mama said Jimmy was the best kid she ever raised.
There you go.
Mama said Jimmy was the best one of her kids.
I believe it was.
The nicest one to raise, and he's still about the best one. But we won't tell him.
Okay, I'll keep it a secret.
Now you make it sound like I was bragging for sure.
Well, Mama forgot.
I didn't tell that to be bragging. He was. I was the best kid in the
I know he did. But he never sassy.
Well, Jimmy, what is it that you remember about your parents?
Fighting with Fred. Oh, about my parents?
Yeah, about your mom and dad. Is there something that stands out special to you? Maybe it's different from the rest of your brothers and sisters.
Well, I was the one that always pumped water, and I got a lot of spankings. I know. I'd get out there pumping water, and we had no hand pump. Boy, I'd always drive those cattle away from the tank so I could get that tank filled up with water. I'd always drive those cattle horses away from that tank so I didn't have to pump so much water.
And you got spankings for that?
Yeah, that kind of not for grass, for not getting out there and pumping.
Oh.
I pumped the tanks about half full and wet. We didn't have electricity. That didn't know anything about gasoline motors. There wasn't.
Beta, why don't you tell about what you've done to accept me? You want me to tell it?
I wouldn't tell that.
Can I tell her?
You can tell.
I'm going to tell on her. I was just a little kid. Because she's 11 years older than I am. So when an old hen would get setting, Mama wanted to break it up so it'd start laying because we needed the eggs. So Mama would break up her old setting hens by putting them in this old wood stove oven that we had outside. We didn't use it except to heat wash water. So when the worst time, Mama put these little setting hens in there and they'd quit setting and start laying eggs again. So Vita got up one morning and she was so ambitious and such a good girl. So she was going to have that washing done, washing on the board, and we heated the water on that old wood stove. So Vita, when Mama got up, Vita met her. She says, Mama, I done carried all the water and I've done heated up all the water to wash with. Already got the water all hot so we can wash. Mama said, well, where'd you heat the water? She said, well, out there on the stove. Mama says, oh my Lord have mercy, girl, you just cooked that old hen alive.
No way. That really happened? That was an accident, though. It was.
She didn't know that.
You didn't know.
She opened that oven door and that old hen fell out, her old feathers and stands, and she was dead and everything. Poor thing.
But that's okay. It was an accident.
It was an accident.
If you'd have meant to do it, I wouldn't have told. I'd have been shocked you'd been so
That's okay though.
It would have been very, very, very cruel.
That's right, it was.
Well, let me get Eunice, because I'm over above you, Eunice. And I want you to tell me who you are and which kid you are. Even though I know you're Eunice, but you have to say it anyway.
I'm the oldest one of the kids.
So you basically took care of everybody.
She was our second mom,
Oh my gosh.
and she didn't like that.
The babysitter.
That's right. You were the babysitter and the cleaner upper and the fixer and the everything.
Rita, should I tell her? Should I tell her she had to take care of me?
Now, how did Eunice do as a second mom? What?
I remember when Letha was crying and go get that baby Eunice and take care of her. And I'd have to sit down on the floor. I couldn't hold her. I'd sit on a chair. I'd drop her. So I'd have to hold her while she's crying.
I did too.
And she said she remembered.
Now, what are you saying, Doris? Because you're saying, can I tell? Can I tell?
I want to tell one on Eunice and me. But my voice is failing, I'm sorry. But I'm going to try to tell it. Mama and Eunice both had to work in the field. And Eunice had a daughter 9 months older than I am. Eunice has a boy 2 years older than I am and a daughter 9 months older than I am. So Mama and Eunice and I took turns working in the field. Eunice has been with me for telling this one. That like Eunice would go to work in the field in the morning and she'd come home and Mama would have dinner ready. And then Eunice would stay home with the girls. And in the afternoon, Mama would go to the field. But the thing of it was, the Mama that stayed home nursed both girls. So Eunice had to nurse Geneva and I in the afternoon, and Mama would nurse her granddaughter and me in the mornings. So they took turns. They took turns of nursing us girls. And where's Geneva? She won't. And Geneva's still mad at me over getting her dinner. Eunice don't want me to tell. She gets mad at me for telling. I don't think it's a bad story.
No, that's not that's not a bad story. I think that's a good story. I think that's really good.
Two little kids working in the field every day.
My gosh. And you've been really quiet. You've been too quiet. I want you to tell me something that you remember about your mom and dad.
I'm going to deal with something a little more sober than that. And more things.
That's good. That's good.
Now, growing up, I didn't really appreciate that. I thought somehow that I just felt like that I was didn't fit in.
Why?
I felt like my dad didn't like me. I grew up, went to the Navy and got away from home. And when I come back to visit, I had bought me a Bible and I had begun to read. My dad was a Bible student. And I don't know, that night was a special night when I was living in St. Louis, Missouri. One night. For the first time in my life, I understood this is when we set up and talked all night. Visited all night. Hadn't been close. But I guess I found out what made my dad tick.
Right.
What'd you talk about?
I was much closer than on. Much closer with all the time as a kid. We talked about just various things in the Bible, mostly predestination.
That's what I wanted to tell you. That's what I wanted to tell you.
I found out that my dad wasn't the man that I pictured him to be when I was growing up. That's what he said. I was coming
He
on
got a lot smarter, didn't he?
the sober side of life. I appreciate it.
How old were you when you all had that talk?
I was about 23, 24.
Do you think that your dad felt a lot closer to you after that night?
Yes. We had a lot closer relationship after that. We went to church together. I come back from St. Louis and stayed around with my dad there for a while. They did some several other churches.
Yeah, we're gonna go home and go to
Close
sleep.
You understood each other, didn't you?
That is so incredible.
Exactly, yeah. It'll be late
Do you remember anything else that you all talked about?
Oh, we talk scripture in general. I mean, we just talk about anything in the Bible.
Saved by
Stories,
grace. Saved by grace.
yeah.
Do you think
Predestination,
If I absolutely have
irresistible grace,
grace?
the sovereignty of God.
Do you think that night, I think I know your answer, but do you think that night was like a gift from God? Do you think that God did that? I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he did too.
I think God had to look at me a little bit. I think he had to open my eyes and let me take a look at where I was and what my dad really stood for.
Right. You know, I think that you needed that night, but I also think your dad needed that night too. I think he needed it.
Done him a lot of good. Done Daddy a lot of good.
Well, he sure taught. He was a real good teacher.
Well, he taught you kids good. He definitely taught you all good.
Yes, I think he did. Sometimes my dad was a little bit unreasonable with his teasing and aggravation. Sometimes he would aggravate the kids where he'd almost have them in tears, and I think probably he was a little bit overboard with that. But he taught us the best principles to live.
Right.
He had high morals.
He was a Christian man. He taught us Christmas principles.
What about your mom and dad's relationship? You were saying that your dad had high morals. How were they together? I mean, what kind of a marriage do you think that they had?
They were together in what they believed. Dad, I think, started studying the scriptures first, and he more or less taught my mother.
He read to Mama.
Mother had high morals, but she didn't understand the Bible like that. And
Right.
he would sit up nights and read the Bible to her.
Mama would work and Daddy'd read the Bible to her.
Yeah.
Could she not read?
She just didn't take time on it. She just
She-
had too
He
many
just-
kids to work,
right.
Had
cook,
10
wash
kids to
dishes.
take care of, and she was usually doing her housework. and
So while she was doing all of that, he was reading to her. So
He'd help
And
out.
she was enjoying it.
Maybe she'd sit down and be sewing or something, and he would be reading to her. They had a good relationship.
do you think they loved each other?
They had a lot of respect for each other.
Does anybody know how they met? How did do you know how they met?
Well, they just lived in the same neighborhood. Got acquainted, just neighbors.
Mama said that you could tell a man, a good man, when he went to pick a husband, pick one that was good to his mother. So she watched Daddy, and he would cut wood, and he would take it to his mother. And he'd go buy something, buy things, and he'd take it to his mother. So Daddy wanted to impress Mama. He found out that Mama was watching him, so he would really make a scene for Mama to see how good he was to his Mama, because he was trying to get on the good side of her.
Right.
And Mama fell right in it. And Mama was crippled. Of course, she was crippled. She got one blind in one eye when she was 15. But she had, when she was baby crawling, she had polio. And so she had about a size 5 shoe on one foot and about a size 8 on the other. And she walked on the side with that little foot. And she, when she was 15, somebody hit her in the eye and blinded her in one eye. So she raised all those kids practically in and out of the covered wagon in that shape. But Daddy said that if Mama hadn't been crippled and handicapped kind of the way he was, she'd have never given him the time of day. Because he said she sure was pretty. Said she was just built like this. And he said, and Mama said, yes, and I made my clothes where they just fit me like they was made right on me. So she must have really had a pretty good figure. And you ask how they got along, I hope I can tell you. Daddy would get up in the morning when they were real old. No matter of fact, just the same week he died. Why, he'd come in the kitchen. I can't do it.